Good evening, I'm Dacia Richards with Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Colombia. Carlos Leder, former drug trafficker and one of the founding leaders of Medellin cartel, was arrested on Friday by Colombian authorities upon his arrival from Germany on a warrant in the Latin American country. Leder was sentenced to life plus 135 years in prison in 1988 after Florida court convicted him of cocaine trafficking. His sentence was later reduced by 55 years after he testified against former Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega, and he was released in 2020 due to health issues. Quote, Leder Rivas, who arrived in the country from Frankfurt, presented in our information systems an arrest warrant in force, unquote, Colombia migration authorities said on X, adding that the former drug lord had been handed over to the police. A video from the migration authorities showed Leder in a suit and the tie guarded by several agents. While in Venezuela, U.S. authorities have notified Spanish oil company Repsol REP, MC, that its license to export oil from Venezuela is to be revoked, a company spokesperson said on Monday, while Spain's foreign minister promised to defend Repsol's interests. President Donald Trump's administration told Repsol it had until May 27 to wind down its operation in the Southern American country. The spokesperson added, oil companies Marel et Prom from France and Eni from Italy have said during the weekend they have been notified by the U.S. government that their respective authorizations to operate in Venezuela were revoked. Last week, Trump issued an executive order declaring that any country buying oil or gas from Venezuela will pay a 25% tariff on trades with the United States. The previous administration had authorized exceptions to U.S. sanctions on Venezuela to allow individual companies to source Venezuelan oil to feed refineries from Spain to India. The companies that had received licenses and comfort letters from Washington also include India's Reliance Industries and the U.S. Global Oil Terminals. Finally, the smell of decaying bodies permeated the streets of Myanmar's second-largest city on Sunday as people worked frantically by hand to clear rubble in the hope of finding someone still alive 2 days after a massive earthquake struck that killed more than 1,600 people and left countless others buried. The 7.7 magnitude quake hit midday Friday with an epicenter near Mandalay, bringing down scores of buildings and damaging other infrastructure like the city's airport. Relief efforts have been hampered by buckled roads, downed bridges, spotty communications, and the challenges of operating in a country in the midst of a civil war. The search for survivors has been primarily conducted by the local residents without the aid of heavy equipment, moving rubble by hand and with shovels in 41 degrees Celsius heat, with only the occasional tracked excavator to be seen. A 5.1 magnitude aftershock a Sunday afternoon prompted screams from those in the streets, and then the work continued. Many of Mandalay's 1.5 million people spent the night sleeping on the streets, either left homeless by the quake, which also shook neighboring Thailand and killed at least 18 people there, or worried that the continuing aftershocks might cause structures left unstable to collapse. Many areas still have not been reached. So far, 1,644 people have been reported killed in Myanmar and 3,408 injured, but many areas have not yet been reached, and many rescue efforts so far have been undertaken by people working by hand to try and clear rubble, said Kara Bragg, the Yangon-based manager of Catholic Relief Services in Myanmar. Thank you for watching. Do have a great week. Until next time.